Alright, today I'm going to be cooking supper. Going to have a kind of a, it's not really a recipe, it's just kind of in my head. I'm going to cook a pot of some deer stew and some cornbread. Most of the time, I don't ever cook this because we never have this cut of meat. Usually, I don't never save meat in big chunks. Normally, the way we eat deer meat most of the time is either whole tenderloins on the grill, or I will cube most of it and fry it, or you can grill that too, and you can roll it in flour and fry it, and you can actually bake it in the oven. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. And the reason I've got these big chunks of meat is I was going to cube this back during the hunting season, and our cuber, something happened to it and it didn't want to work, and I already had the meat cut, so I just froze it in the big chunks and figured later on I would figure out something to do with it. So this is what I'm going to do with it. I've already made a pot or two of this back, earlier in the year, and it's pretty good. I'm going to put it in a pressure pot and pressure it almost done, and then add the vegetables and make the broth up in the pot after it's through pressure, and then simmer it for a couple of hours that way, and make a quick cake of cornbread to go with it, and it should be pretty good. One thing I didn't mention is I'm going to brown this meat before I put it in the pot. I'm going to brown it in a little bit of bacon grease and kind of put just a little bit of a sear on it, and then put it in the pot with some water and some salt and cook it under pressure, probably 15 pounds for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I will add the vegetables and the seasonings and everything to it, and then let it simmer for a couple hours. And sometimes I'll add a little bit of seasoning to the meat here as I'm browning it, just because I like to. I don't know that if it's better to do it, at the beginning, or add it to the pot later, but sometimes I do it one way and then sometimes I do it the other. Like I say, I don't follow a recipe on almost anything. It's kind of frustrating to some people that might be watching, trying to figure out how to do it, but that's just the way I've always done, and it usually turns out pretty good. I'll add a little bit of black pepper to it because I like it. And maybe just a little bit of oregano, because I like that too. I'll also put some garlic in it, but I'll probably wait and do that when I put it in the pot. Alright, now I'm just going to add this meat to the pot, the juice and all. It's actually a pretty good bunch of meat for this little pot. It'll be alright. And then to that I'm going to add enough water to get over top of it to pressure it, and while it's pressuring, then I'll cut up the vegetables and get those ready. This old pot, this is a pretty old pressure pot. I don't know exactly how old or where it came from, but I know it's old. I've got a newer, bigger one, but it's little jiggler, something about it don't work good, but I know this one will work good. This is one of the old type. This is an old Miramatic pot, and the jiggler's Miramatic also. And I just like the fact that it's old. We've used it for years and years and years and years, and we've got an Instant Pot, and most everybody uses it, but I prefer these, I guess just because I like everything the old way. There's no buttons or electronics or anything. All you need is heat, and as long as the gasket will seal and the jiggler will let out the pressure, it works. And I kind of like it. It's just the old way, and that's the way I like to do it. Alright, I'm going to put a little bit of celery. I don't particularly like celery raw, but I really do like it cooked in things. I think it gives a really good flavor to all kinds of dishes. Also going to put a pretty big onion in it. And I generally cut them kind of coarse, especially if they're going in some kind of stew like this. I like big old chunky pieces of onion when it's cooked in a pot of stew. Now then, all that's left is to peel the potatoes. And I think I may put some carrots in it too if I can find some. This is some of our own garlic that we grew ourselves here, so I'm going to chop up 2 or 3 cloves of that and put in it as well. All right, now we're gonna add the vegetables, just the potatoes and garlic and onions and celery. And I think I actually forgot to put salt in it. I usually put salt in it when I pressure it. I'm going to put a little more salt, a little more pepper. This right here is actually a steak seasoning. I think it's called Max. It's good stuff. A little bit of that ain't going to hurt nothing. And I'm actually going to cheat on the carrots. I remembered Tipper a while back canned some carrots, and I'm going to get some of those. Some that we canned here ourselves. I think we grew these. I'll just put the whole jar in. And I'm going to put just a little bit of apple cider vinegar and a little bit of brown sugar. And then I'm going to put some beef broth, and this is broth that we rendered here at home. I bought bones from the local farm down here and made this broth, I don't know, a couple of months ago I think. It's got a little bit of fat in it, but that'll make it good. Cover that up and let it simmer I don't know, at least an hour, maybe a little longer. I'll come back and check it and see if it needs a little bit more while I'm getting the cornbread made. Alright, now it's time to make the cornbread to go with our deer stew. A couple of cups of stone ground cornmeal. A little bit of salt. Most recipes will tell you to beat an egg. I just break it in there. Before I add the milk, I'll beat it a little bit with a spoon. Kind of like so. And just add the milk in. Give it just another shot of cornmeal. There we go, cornbread's ready for the oven. When it gets done, we'll be ready to eat. Alright, I believe we're about done. Now here's the stew. I've got to get the cornbread out.
Is this a feast or what?
I don't know, you ain't tasted it yet.
Thank you very much.
May not be fit to eat.
I've been very busy today, so Matt's took over supper. Oh, I know it'll be good. Oh, tender, just falling apart. I need to get me some, you gotta have the perfect bite. You gotta have a little bit of potato, a little bit of onion, a little bit of cornbread, and a little bit of meat. It's very hot though, isn't it?
Good.
Very, very good, and very, very hot, but very good.
You recognize the carrots? That's some of your canned ones. I took the easy
Oh,
way
is
out
it?
instead of having to skin and cut
That's
the carrots up. I went down there and got a jar of
That's
your carrots
great.
and put in it. Pretty good, isn't it?
Very good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We can eat on that a day or two.
We can, yeah, we like that, leftovers. And Matt, he may have told you this. Did you tell him? Of course, this is the best. We like the deer meat the best, but you've made this with beef stew, and it's good too. And I don't think, guess you've made something similar to this with chicken.
Yeah, similar, but not exactly.
But I like
the same.
I like chicken fine, but I like the beef, or especially like the deer meat, and that's so tender the way Matt does it in the pressure pot. Yeah, tenderizes it a lot. So this is really delicious, and this is a meal, especially since Matt made this over the years. a lot. I mean, fairly often, but since you've been working at home, you've made it a lot. Because it's really good, but it's something we can eat on for 2 or 3 days, and something that Matt likes to cook. He loves to fool with those old pressure pots.
I do.
He loves it. I never fool with them. I've never used one of them in my life, one of those.
Reminds me of being little in my grandma's house, and she always run them, and it's just an old thing I mean, there may be lots of people still doing it, but I don't see them and don't hear about them, and I just think they're old, and it reminds me of another time, and I like that. And there's no buttons and no electronics to go bad, you know.
If I was going to do that, I would use the Instapot because it's just easier. The other day, which is, I guess it's longer than the other day now, but when we had Matt's birthday and he asked for those beans, we used one of those. Like all I did was I poured the beans in the pot and then Matt put it on. And then I think you even put them on in the crock pot for me after that. So I let Matt do that part too.
Yeah, I pressured those for about 15 minutes and then put them in a crock pot and let them cook all day. And they were good.
Oh, they were delicious. I really never, growing up, Granny never used any kind of pressure pot like that other than canning beans. You know, canning stuff. It's just canning, like that part of it. But I really didn't know people used it, I don't think that I remember, for like meats or beans or things like that until I met Matt. But your family, that was just a common thing.
Oh yeah, it was very common, and you can take a cheaper, lesser, tougher cut of meat and put it in that pressure pot, and it'll tenderize anything. And it'll make a cheap piece of meat taste real good.
Yeah.
And I just like it because I remember it being used when I was young.
You said your grandmother?
Yeah, my grandmother.
But then your daddy and your mother both used it too.
Mom and Daddy
them,
used them.
both
Yeah.
of them.
And I remember hearing that sound of that pressure relief going lots and lots and lots of times when I was young, and that's just something I like.
Only time I heard it was during canning season. But of course now, we've been married 30 years, so I've heard it a lot. And thanks, I'm very lucky. Matt's always took care of it. So really appreciate it. And appreciate this wonderful, wonderful supper. All I need is a glass of milk, and I'll be ready to take nourishment. Is that what the old people would say? Take nourishment. Well, we thank you for coming along with Matt this time instead of me to cook supper, and we hope you enjoyed it. And if you try a version of this, we sure hope you like it. If you use those old pressure pots, tell us about it in the comments. We'd like to hear about it, and we're always glad when you stop by to help us celebrate Appalachia. Thanks. Thanks, you little ragamuffin. He's like, I don't know whether somebody's happy with me or not. Oh, I know, you little ham. I know all about it.